Yeah. Lego.
Okay. Hey, everybody. How are you guys? We are back with another Sunday.
Hey, hey, est-ce que tu es prêt? Ça va?
Yes. Je pray, je pray.
What's, what's up, everybody? Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen. We back for another repat. No cap. Mm, mm, mm.
Look, we need intro music. We got to
Hey, I
get
was
that
just gonna say
together.
that. I was for real gonna say that before we came on. I was like, damn, you need to make up a song, yo, like with your Saba rap with all your
Yes.
bola.
Yes, right. I'm going to get Trey to, Trey be on the beats. We're going to have to come up with something because we need some intro
Y'all ain't
music.
know Dayla's an all around artiste.
I forgot you did hear some of my songs. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yes.
she
We're gonna
on
have
the
to come up with something.
scene. She came on the scene as soon as she dropped down.
Hey,
Let's see.
Adam. Am,
Adon,
am I saying that right?
Adon is in the
Adon.
house.
Yes, yes,
Adon,
yes. Come in, guys. Come in. We have a special
what up to the
Sunday show.
tribe?
Yes. Oh, let me put the band on.
Yes. You know we gotta talk about the thing. At least
What
one
thing?
time about the thing.
Oh, God.
We've been arguing all week, y'all.
I thought about it. I was like, is she gonna mention this, or are we gonna do this, or are we not gonna do this again?
We don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. Hey,
No,
Larita, what up, Larita?
we okay. If we got time at the end, if not, we need to just do another live and then just talk about it.
Hey,
Hey,
I'm just
Larita.
saying though, it didn't have to go down like that. That's all I'm saying.
It's so funny because me and you've been voice messaging all week about it. Like it's just
Oh
it's
man,
a hot
I
topic
didn't
right
even
now.
want it to be a big deal, but it's no avoiding that. There's no
It's so
avoiding
much.
it.
It's
Everybody,
so much. It's so much information you can pull out of it. Like it's
yes,
just never ending. Oh my
yes,
god. They probably like, what do y'all? Okay, comment if y'all know what we talking about because y'all should know.
they
It's
know,
like
they
the talk of the
they
goddamn
know,
century.
they know the block is hot. They know what we're talking about.
Oh my god.
We got 6 people in the house right now. Let's see
Hey,
who it is. Okay, did
repat
all
no
y'all say
cap.
what's up? The tribe got to follow protocol. We got one like and 7 people
Y'all know.
watching,
Y'all know.
two
Afro
comments.
millennial mama gonna get y'all about. She like protocol.
Yeah, yes,
We need to.
especially because this is my girl's channel. I'll point this way. This is my girl's channel. We're trying to get her right. So
Yes,
the
that's
tribe got to
right.
support
Right.
one another.
Amen to that.
so, so yes, you want to talk about your week?
Mhm. Yes, my week was awesome. I had a good week. I feel like the last 3 weeks I've been like tunnel visioning into my classes. So my online classes start tomorrow. So I've been really just in that. Um, One thing I thought about that happened. What was it? Okay, I guess it's two things. Let me see which one. Let me see which one I want to mention.
The crazy story. You got to tell them the crazy
Right,
story.
it's gonna be like a little story time. So, okay, I did have a moment of like going back and forth with my American trauma. Hey, unique. Ooh, I don't be wanting to butcher y'all's names. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for coming
Anaya,
in. Yes.
Anaya, I love
Yes.
FGC, H Bless.
Bledsoe.
We got a surprise for y'all today too.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, so yes, I had a moment with my American trauma where I had to like remember where I am, where I'm from, where I am. And it was you know how you do the prepaid electricity, like with the box?
Hmm.
Okay, so someone like okay, in America, if someone knocks on your door, if a neighbor knocks on your door and says my electricity is out, especially if you haven't spoken to this neighbor, like we've never like I think we've said hi a few times, but I don't really see them. They don't really see me. It's two men, and And yeah, so in America, it doesn't matter. You're not like, I don't even answer the door and open up the door. Like, I'm on the other side talking through the door, especially like now I try not to do that so much, but in America, most definitely. If I did not expect you to come over, you are getting talked to through the door, okay? Because I have to. It's about safety, okay? So
Yes.
they had knocked on the door. Well, it was one of the guys that knocked on the door, and the kids came and got me. It's like, someone's knocking on the door. Absolutely, right away. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is someone, especially if it's at night, I'm like, why is someone knocking on my door? So,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, it could be the doorman or something. So the guy's like, hey, we're your neighbor. The electricity went out. We want to see if we can. I didn't really get to hear the rest, but I know he was saying like if they can come in and use the box. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. Like, why?
Mm.
So, and when I say this, it's like, of course, you still have to take precaution here in Africa, in Senegal. We still got to take precaution, but it's just different. Like, a lot of things are
Yeah.
just different when it comes to inviting people in your house and stuff. So, just y'all try to understand that first. Because don't be like, oh, no, I still wouldn't. So
Yeah. No.
it might have took me 5 minutes to open up because I was just like, I can't really hear y'all. I don't really know. I don't really know what to do. And I'm like battling, like, okay, I'm like, this is not America. These are my neighbors. And I thought about how when I first moved here, I had the same thing. When we had our other apartment, it was prepaid, and I needed to do that. I needed to go to a neighbor's house, go inside of their home, push the numbers, and do it. So I'm like, okay, what I don't want is for my neighbors to feel like I'm not there for them, because it really is that here. It really is that community. So I was just like, okay, Deva, if they're coming in here to kill you, then that's what's like. I had to go through all these unnecessary thoughts, and I finally just let go. The man came in. He was having an issue where he had to go from one plug-in to the other side of the house, but it was nothing, and it was just I survived.
Of course you did. And
Right?
see, people kill people, but it ain't gonna be the same way. Like it's not gonna be a knife and a gun and a whatever. Like they just might cook you some food and then you just go to
Right.
sleep and But so you
That's
look
true.
out for things, but it's different things. And you hit it on the head when you said like I don't want my neighbors to think I'm not there for them. That is big because that's why I pick up people when I'm leaving my house.
Yeah.
Even though I be in the zone in my music, in LA we drive by ourselves, we got the music on, like it's my
Right.
therapy. I want to spend time with my kid alone, but they be like, Aisha, Sawa, like, I'm going over here, and it's like I don't want to just drive by them and make dust and it go in their face. Like
Right.
that's kind of because when I need my clothes washed, I don't know how to hand wash clothes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't be knowing how to get stuff. Like they bring stuff from the market all the way over here. I can't go to the market by myself, but I can go to them and buy what they bring. And so it's like, yeah, you just one time a lady waved at me, like waved me down. I thought she was waving hi. I was like, hi, and I kept going. And I was like, oh, and I felt so bad because it's like, they all know my name. They all know all my business. If something happened, it could go 50-50. They might help me out, they may not, but it's like I don't
Right.
want to miss that 50-50 chance
Right.
that they
Most
will
in
look
most
out
cases they will. So yeah.
for me.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So Princess April, I finally caught her live. Yeah,
Yes.
you here. but
Yes.
uh but yeah,
I think she
so
was the
so
last one last time. Like, dang, I missed it. I missed it. So yes.
so what's the other story before I get into my week?
Okay.
What's the other story that you was gonna tell us?
What was the other story I was
It's
going to say?
funny.
Because I be
Y'all got
having so many stories. It might come to me.
no, the
Oh,
guy, the guy on the bike. I want to hear
who?
that one.
Who?
You don't know me. You don't know me.
Oh, Lord. No,
Unless you don't want to tell it, you don't have to tell it.
no,
But
no.
I'm just
It's
saying we
okay.
keep it all the way real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a part of my brain is trying to forget that because I keep having to be reminded. I'm like, what happened? So yeah, I'm gonna tell that story. This is a good topic since we are here
Mm-hmm.
and we have you guys who we love and appreciate, and you guys love us and y'all support us. And this topic is just good for anyone that has a platform, or if you are supporting someone that has a platform. just in remembering that we try to do our best to like remember you guys and know what y'all look like in our conversations, but we're not going to always remember that. And so I had a situation last week where this guy he reached out to me, like, you know, when I first came, most of you guys probably know how crazy my journey was. If you follow me on Facebook, then you know some of it. And so when I came, you know, we came here, we didn't have a place to stay, we were staying in the Airbnbs. And so there were like maybe two, could have been three people whose number I exchanged with, who were following me from, like, got me from like YouTube or Facebook, and they found out about my story and they helped me to find a place. And so this guy was one of them. He didn't necessarily help me find a place, but he reached out and he would like check on us. Last year he probably checked on us like 2 or 3 times. It was nothing major. We never had a full conversation. It was just like, hey, and that's normal. This sounds crazy to, you know, us back at home, but in Senegal, that's normal for someone to have your contact and just say, hey, and you don't hear from them for months, but they genuinely just want to check on you and make sure you're good. So that was our only connection, but we've never spoke on the phone. It was nothing else. And so we were at a restaurant not too long, well, that was last week. And the guy came up to me. He was riding on his bike and he's like, Dayla. And I'm like, hey, and earlier this day, someone else had recognized me. So anytime that I see people that recognize me, I try to really be intentional. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, what's your name? Oh, that's great. You know, I want to give back, you know, what you guys are giving. So I'm like, hey, he's like, you don't recognize me? And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I don't recognize you. Am I supposed to? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm a fan of yours. Like, we're friends. Like, I support you. You really don't recognize me? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, but what is your name? And I go in to like talk to him and
Trying.
he rolls off on the bike. And it was kind of awkward. Like my brother was there, my homeboy Rob was there, and even Rob and them noticed and was like, okay, that was kind of weird. But then we were like, maybe he was maybe he was kind of shy or something. So he just went off, you know, traffic's going. So we're like, okay, whatever. But then the guy messages me and he's like, I can't believe you didn't recognize me. I'm so disappointed. He's like, I'm never going to support YouTubers again. Any people that are moving here, social media people. And I'm just like, dude, I can't believe you're taking this so personal. Like, we never met each other. We never seen each other. He's like, yeah, I
That's what I was
know,
gonna
but
say. You never seen his face. You see a little
never.
icon on his little Facebook or
Right,
whatever it
whatever that
was.
is.
Like, what is that? Like, oh my God.
Yes, he was so disappointed. Like, I'm talking about, he might have sent me 11 messages just telling me how disappointed he was and how he would never support. And I was just like, this is like, I mean, I had to go back through the messages because he mentioned him being married. So I'm like, does your wife know that you're taking it this personal? Like, my dude, it's not that personal. Like, it's not personal at all. I just don't recognize you, but I
Am I
appreciate it.
allowed to forget? Yeah, that's a tough one because I be trying to get people to jog my memory, like just remind me, and then so I
Yeah,
could be where you are. But sometimes people forget that they forget where they know you from, and so they think they know you, like, hey, and they know you, but it doesn't click. Like they know you, but you don't know them the same
yeah,
way. But that's why I like when people have YouTube channels or something, so I can at least watch them and like kind of feel like I know them too,
yeah,
so I feel more
right.
comfortable. But yeah,
Right,
that's
but you just
interesting.
understand that the person's probably not going to necessarily, because there's so many. It's a lot of y'all, so it's
And
like,
and then they have a different name on the YouTube and the Instagram, and
yes,
then they tell you their real name, and
right.
yeah, it's hard like
I'm just
to
like,
to
wow,
remember.
really? We're in Africa. Like, so many people are calling my name. I have no idea who you are. You can be anybody. I don't even know. And you know, you can't tell. You, we think we can tell. I feel like before I came here, I thought I could tell the difference. Once you live here, you realize you cannot tell the difference between an African and a American or wherever, you know, a person.
Hmm.
Sometimes you can be like, okay, yeah, but most of the time, you don't know. I'm like, I don't even know where you're from. I have no idea who you are.
That part, because sometimes people will contact me too, and I won't know where they're from. So depending on if they're from here or not, like the advice that they're asking is different. Because if you're from here,
Yes.
then you might be able to do something a different way, or you might have family, or you might, So I kind of try to ask questions because I think sometimes people assume that you know them, or maybe that you don't need to know that much information. I think
Right.
in the beginning, I had time to remember people because it was just a couple of individuals and
Right.
everybody had a different scenario. I'm not good with names, but
Mm.
I could remember like your background story. But then people's story was the same. Like how many people is married to a Senegalese that contact me? I can't even keep track. So I'm like, I'll be like, okay, they got one kid too. Like I try to remember certain
Right.
specific unique stuff, but it's hard to remember. And the one I told you, um, emailed me and was like, "Oh, the person I told you I had to like block because it was getting a little
Yeah.
weird." And so I was like, so they emailed me after because that's what my instruction like, email me please because this messaging I'm gonna forget who you are and lose track. And so they
Right.
finally did, and they was like, "Yeah, what I told you before, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna wait." And this, and I'm like, "Huh? What?" So I didn't want to be like, "Who is this? What are you talking about?" I just said, "Oh, have we spoken before? And did we message before? I don't see any previous email." And they're like, "Yeah, on Instagram." And so I was like, I had to follow back, like, "What's your name on Instagram?" Because I
Right.
can't just like pick you out of
Yes.
a lineup.
We
But
cannot.
yeah. Yeah, but but nobody's ever gotten offended. They just been kind of surprised, but yeah,
Boy,
that's
this man was he was out to to chastise me, like
jeez, jeez, jeez.
trying to put the guilt trip. So
But
yes,
anyway,
that was my week. So how
my
was
week was
yours?
great. My week started this weekend. I don't even remember what happened during the week. I don't even care. The weekend was lit for me.
Yeah.
First, I went to a basketball game. There's an NBA academy here, and it's like
Oh,
15 minutes from my house. So or 10.
oh.
Here in Sally. So like there's a gentleman and his wife that ran into us at a restaurant in Sally,
Mm,
and he was like, I don't know, 7 feet tall or something. But he coaches for the NBA Academy. Like
mm.
they recruit and African people, that hopefully potential people that can go to the NBA.
Oh
So there
wow.
was like a practice game, and they invited us. So it was all these American people there, like people whose spouse or whatever works there, and so we're sitting like we're in the VIP in the one of the NBA arenas and watching these kids
Wow.
play. And they're like teenagers, but they're like super tall, and
Yeah.
for whatever reason, the way they play, like the way they dribble, like I used to play basketball a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but like the way they dribble the ball and the way they like the swag of it was
It's
like,
different.
oh no, but it felt like there was Americans, like
Oh
how
right.
we play, like sometimes
Right.
international or other countries play different, but like they was doing the whole everything was like the style, and they're like like I was like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, he got handles, so we was into it, and Yaya loved it, so that
Really.
was super duper fun. And then of course I saw you on Saturday.
Yes.
um went to our special guest, had an event. We're going to talk about that. That was fun. And then we
Mm-hmm.
argued about the thing that we like to argue about this week.
We had such a good time. It was perfect. It was the
It
perfect
was
night.
beautiful. It was like we was in the barbershop, nail salon, hair salon. Like
Yes,
just
right.
everybody was, moms was there. Like everybody was there.
Jumping in the
So
conversation and stuff.
yeah, it was good. It was
Yes.
really good. And so yeah, and today they got Yaya spending the night at her new playground mama house. So
What?
yeah, the people that came with me, she's at their
Yeah.
house having a
Oh,
blast. So
that's nice. So you
she
get a
got her
break.
auntie and her grandma. Yeah.
Yes. See, look
So
at
I'm
that. And
great.
what they met you from what, YouTube?
Yes, yes. They was
That's
in
amazing.
they was in Rwanda and contacted me, and then was interested in coming to the West. And so then they came. We helped them get sorted and adjusted and everything. And then
Mm.
now look, I got a babysitter out
I know. That's
there. Yeah,
crazy.
she loves it over
Okay.
there. So,
See, that's bomb. So, okay,
yeah.
well, just real quick on that too, though, you guys can see like
Mhm,
that's what we're doing. Like where people are reaching out to us and we're connecting with them, meeting them in the grocery stores, they're following us on our
mhm,
social media platforms, and we're really creating like genuine connections, like everlasting.
mhm.
You know, she then gained a
Family.
whole auntie, grandma, right? Family, exactly. And we're doing the
Yeah.
same
This
thing.
the stuff that I thought she would miss because I'm like, dang, she's not gonna have that like culturally, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like, because I love my culture, and that's the one thing I'm like, dang, how can I fill the void of her missing that side of her, of her background? And African American is very specific. It's not just American, you know? And so
right.
I'm like, dang, now they're gonna teach her how to play spades, pinochle, whatever, like
That's
bid
dope.
whiz. Like it's just so that just warms my heart
That's
so
dope.
much, and
Yes.
more than
Yes.
I
And
can
we're in
ever
the
say.
beginning. Like it's happening.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our next guest because Unique is my girl. She's our girl. But since Aisha,
Yes.
and we be talking about this, Aisha, we be like, if you were down here, we would just all be, because we are like the Three Stooges, Larita, Unique, and I.
You
And we
know
would
I'm gonna
just,
bring y'all down. Y'all just gonna
yes.
have to be like we gonna have to be like Sex in the City or whatever, and y'all just gonna have to come see me like Samantha or whatever. Just
Yep.
come see me.
Yep. Exactly. And we love Simone too. So that's happening. That's going to happen real soon.
Mhm.
We've been talking about coming. So,
Yes.
okay, wait. So let me make sure. Okay. So this is our first time having a guest on, which is so exciting. Look at us.
Yes.
And Unique is a designer. She owns the Fly Girl Couture (FGC) um, clothing line. And she started in America and it's now here. She has her headquarters. That's where me and Aisha seen each other yesterday at her grand opening. It was the bomb. It's just like, and you guys have probably seen me there because I've been live there twice. So the space is
Mhm.
just beautiful. The ambiance, the colors, the clothes. Tell us about the clothes that you got.
She's
Like,
gifted. Oh my gosh, you guys. So like I have been in need of a designer because everybody here is so fly. But because the communication barrier is discouraging and the cultural differences, I'm like, it takes long to get clothes made. They don't make it how you want it. They can't
yes.
understand, you want to be an individual, not fit in. So I was like, dang, she gonna be my designer once I get up there and see what she can do. So I didn't even expect to buy stuff because I was thinking it was gonna be out of my range because I'm like, y'all got that car money, you know.
You
But
always talk about that in the car.
but yeah, but when expats do business, a lot of people do business. Foreigners in Africa, they a lot of times charge a lot, or
That's true.
they only want expat customers, and so I just imagine, that it's expensive and out of my range, but nah, like, and she had bomb stuff. I got a nice bag. Y'all gonna see. I have a video that's gonna come out because I was so impressed that I was like, I didn't even plan to do a video because I was like, nah, I'm just gonna enjoy myself because
Yeah.
that's work. That's work. But
Yeah.
it was just so like she's so talented, you guys. Like I'm gonna let her tell it, but when you hear how she just taught herself all this stuff, and she's just very, very gifted and
Hmm.
loves what she do. And I think it's great to see an entrepreneur who could do business here and abroad and back home
And
at the
she is
same
doing
time.
it.
And
Yes.
like, just man, it's awesome. So I can't wait for her to come on so you guys could hear what she
Yes. And I know just from, front row, like I watch Unique do this. I watch her with her tailors. I watch her with the look like, hold on. Wait, and she's like speaking her, she doing me, with the
Yes,
hijab and the French, and she is doing it. It is so inspiring.
yes.
Seriously. So without further ado, we are gonna bring our girl on here. Okay, y'all, first time, so just bear with me. Okay, let's welcome Unique,
Hi
the owner
guys.
of Fly Girl Couture.
There she is. Welcome.
Hi
Hey.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes, Unique. How are you?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm. We can hear you
Okay.
good.
Just wanted to make sure. I'm good. I'm good.
Yes.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, we are so excited. You being our first guest, it was perfect. Like she coming down for the grand opening, and then we're like,
I know.
we gotta have Unique on. Like we gotta do this. FGC. So
Yeah.
where should
She's
we
a boss.
start? Huh?
First of all, thank you guys so much for coming and supporting me. Dayla is part of my tribe. Homegirl was there, like they showed up. They didn't even ask me, like, do you need help? She and Larita were just like there at 10 a.m. to help me. And I did need help and I didn't realize it. And we were like really working for like 4 hours. Like it was way more. I don't know what I thought I was going to be doing by myself. So I'm just so glad that you guys came through.
Yes. That's that. I'm glad you actually started there because it just like that's one of the main points of this show is to show how we come together here. Like we really do. Like it
Mhm.
was like me and Larita was like, what did this girl think was gonna happen? Like of course we have to help her. And it was so divine. Like everything happened, y'all know I be on Senegalese time. So I was on time and I was like, I'm gonna come through. We
And
gonna be on
Dayla be
time.
on like super Senegalese time. Like her 10 a.m. is literally like 12:30 p.m., 1 p.m. Like she's really Senegalese. It's crazy.
Right, right,
And
right,
you can't
right,
be mad at it either, because
right. It's just like
Right.
you just get
it
used
is
to
what
it.
it is.
Yes.
So tell the
So
people where you from, how'd you end up in Senegal?
there you go.
So I'm from Boston, Boston, Massachusetts. I've been in Senegal now for a little over a year. I moved here January 2nd of 2021. Um, So my husband's Senegalese. I met him in Boston back in 2013, November, on our first date. And then
Oh,
yeah, we got married a year later, December 13th, 2014. And he just really just like made me want to travel to Africa. He just opened up my horizons because I feel like growing up, I was never like I didn't grow up in the type of culture where it was like, oh, I want to go to Africa. Like it wasn't even a thing for me. So I'm really grateful. It's crazy to me that I live here now because I
they
just
don't
never
waste
would
they
have.
don't waste no time, huh? That one
Yeah,
year. It was the same
right.
for me.
A year, girl.
They be on it.
That's
Yes,
They
good.
know when they
I can dig it.
Yes.
But yes,
Cool.
and it's just so dope. I never expected when I was coming to Senegal to find like a community here. Like I never thought I was gonna meet other people just like me who just moved to Senegal too. Like just
Same
regular,
here.
African Americans. Like so, it's really exciting.
It's
Yeah, I
funny
had no
because
idea either.
it's so funny because everyone does say that, and the kids and I like Kyoko is 11 now, and she was 3 years old drawing pictures of Senegal, and I used to, y'all know I don't have like big family. I never knew my dad's side of the family like that. My mom's side of the family, I'm not connected with them, so I've always told the kids like we're gonna go to Senegal, and that's where we're gonna get our family. That's where we're gonna create our family. That's where we're gonna so it's just funny to hear everybody's like, I had no idea. And I'm like, this is the only option we had. Like, I'm like, we're going to Senegal to get our family. Like, and it's happening.
It's so amazing.
Yes. I love
It's
that.
it's
Oh,
awesome
someone
because
said,
I used to cry about like how am I gonna make friends, and I'm too grown to like make friends that's from here because we won't have nothing in common. And Amadou was just like, no, there'll be people, and I'm like, who speaks French? Who cares about like Senegal like that to be moving there? But then all of a sudden, like
we
voila,
out here. We out
yes,
here. And we seen that at the Burna Boy concert, which we all went. And it
Hmm.
was like a little America on one
yes,
side.
it was,
And
it
it's
Yes.
was
crazy because
fun.
we literally all moved here at the same time.
Mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
That's the crazy part.
yep,
Mm-hmm. You
like,
came like 2 months after us.
Hmm.
yep, yep. It's
Yes.
it's
So
amazing.
tell us about your clothing line. Like what inspired you? How did it come about? What is the journey?
Okay, so thank you so much. I saw someone just wrote, I love your designs. Thank
Mm.
you. So I started designing clothes about 10 years ago. I was always like really into fashion, just like love getting dressed up, going out, was like a real party girl. And I had a lot of trouble finding like things that I wanted to wear, like that was just as fabulous as my friends. And I was just like, I need to start making my own clothes. So I would buy stuff and like remix it, like things from the store. Then I started doing plus size modeling, and I was doing some fashion shows. And now there's way more options. Like you don't even have those problems anymore. So people probably are like, really? But 10 years ago, the clothes that we had in plus size were just like for older women. Like it wasn't catering to like young plus size
Lane
women.
Bryant.
Right. Lane Bryant, they came a long way, but they weren't there 10 years ago.
Right.
They still got a ways to go, but they better. But yeah, so it was like a real struggle. So I just was like, I'm gonna start making my own clothes. And I had a group of friends, and everyone used to call us the Fly Girls. Like people would be like, you guys are the Fly Girls. And so that's where I came up with the name Fly Girl Couture, because I'm like, this is to make other people fly girls too, or make them feel like a fly girl. You know what I'm saying? So that's what like inspired me to name it. I literally just like went and bought a sewing machine and fabric and just started sewing. Just started making stuff. I was like, oh, I could do it. I was living in Philly at the time, and my roommate she needed a dress for her birthday. I was like, I can make your birthday dress, even though I had never made anything before. So I made her a birthday dress, and I made myself a dress. And I was new to this, so I didn't really like know what I was doing. I was just doing it. And my dress, I made a sequins dress, and it was like a non-stretch fabric, and it was very tight and very short. So we went to New York for the weekend, and when we got in the car, we got ready to go to the club to get in the car. I couldn't bend like to sit in the car. Because the dress was so tight. So I had to literally ride from New Jersey to New York like this in the car. And then when we got to the club, I couldn't even sit down all night. And I had on like 6-inch like glittery heels. And it was just a night to remember. Those sequins were like buried in my skin. Like my skin was all cut up.
Oh, I know the feeling. Oh my God.
My goodness. Look at this is like a designer's tale, like the humble beginnings. Like
seriously.
That's the best way to learn.
Exactly. I have had so many. I had sequins in my eye. I had to go to the hospital because like cutting sequins is like really dangerous. So one time I was cutting sequins and sequins went in my eye. Another time I swallowed a sewing pin when I was fitting a client who had like a huge event the next day. Cause you know, you're like, when you sew, you like put the pin in your mouth and you're like, doing things.
Yes.
And I laughed and the pin went down and I was like, oh my God, I think I just swallowed the pin. But I just wasn't sure because I'm like, I couldn't have just swallowed the pin, I had to get it like surgically removed.
Shut up.
Yeah, no. I had to like, go down with it like a camera and take it out. And my throat was like all scratched up. And it was when Beyonce had just had Blue Ivy and she was coming back for one night only in Atlantic City. You guys remember that? And girl, why did I have tickets and could not go? Because the doctor was like, you cannot be yelling. It was like the next day. My friend was so mad at me.
Oh my God, Unique, that is crazy.
That is unbelievable.
I have like real stories with this fashion stuff.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
And you said you used to model too.
Yeah, I used to do modeling, plus size modeling, yep. And now these days I'm actually modeling for my own brand because I was having trouble finding like a plus size model here. First of all, because of the language barrier, So now it's like I just decided like I'm just gonna have to do it myself, So it's like a new thing for me. Dayla and them were my first shoot of me modeling my own brand. Her and her brother, they were like the creative team. It was really dope. So since then it's just like now we're just like regularly doing this all the time.
Yes. I love to hear like when you just talk about, because at first when I just knew you, when I was like, coming to the studio even, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Like she's doing this. But then when you give details about like you and your husband doing the pop-up shows and all the craziness and the money that y'all spent in, I mean, this is like, you have to do this. This was, if you didn't even want to do it, it wants you. Like,
right. This is it.
So can you share some of that? Like your whole, like just the realness of it.
Yeah, so basically, I started sewing my own clothes, but I didn't want to just like make clothes. I wanted it to be like a boutique because I wanted to be able to give you like the whole experience, like fat accessories with the dress, you know, like the whole styling. So um I started that way. I was doing like custom clients, and then we started doing like pop-up shops. So I started buying like sunglasses and different earrings. And my husband, the first time that he came to visit Senegal when we were dating, he was like, when I met my husband, he was just like, "You're a fashion designer. My dad was a tailor. My brother's a tailor. Like, this is meant to be." You know, I was just like, "Yeah, it's true. Let's go." So the first time he came to Senegal, his brother, I like gave them some of my designs I wanted them to do, and his brother like made the items for me in bulk. Unfortunately, the fits were like just way off, which is what made me really want to be more hands-on with the process. But so I had these things, and I was like, oh, I could start doing pop-up shops like for real now, because now I have inventory. So we started signing up for all these pop-up shops around the city. And me and my husband were like, Boston's a very expensive city, for people who don't know. So like rent back then, we were paying like $1,500 a month for rent, and that was like 7, 8 years ago, you know. So we
Wow.
were broke, basically, is what I'm trying to get to.
Right.
So when we started doing the pop-up shops, you had to bring your own tents and tables, and we would literally go buy the tent, buy the tables, the weights, everything, do the pop-up shops. We would make like $100 and something in a day, like, and be there all day. And then at the end of the weekend, we couldn't even afford to like keep the stuff. So every weekend we have to go return the tents and the tables.
Oh my
Like,
God.
we were seriously like grinding. So that's why when people see me now, they're just like, people might think like, oh, because some people just come to Africa, you know, labor is way less expensive here. So you can actually like hire somebody to do stuff for you, you know? So some people come and they do that. They just have people design stuff for them. So people might see me and think like that's the case. But like, I'm really a fashion designer. Like, I really been like getting it out the mud, you know? Like, I've been doing this for a long time, and like, it's really my passion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because some people would not keep going. Like, I wasn't making any
Yes.
money, you know? And then,
Especially in America, it,
right.
it's so expensive, and it seems like the entrepreneur is dwindling, and so
Yeah.
it's so easy to follow the formula of, oh, get a job, get it, and during those moments where you had tough times, I could imagine people were probably telling you like, why don't you just go work at the post office or
Right.
whatever.
Literally.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's deep.
Yeah.
And a lot of women I knew who actually started businesses like around the same time. I was in like a lot of, I try to always join networking clubs, and I know
Mhm.
so many people. Like, I have to go through and clean my Instagram out all the time from all these businesses that I follow that are not businesses anymore, you know? So it's definitely
Mm.
like a long journey, and it's hard. Everybody doesn't, stick it out, So I'm glad I did, because it's just like, now I get to like live in Africa and just like
Yes.
take this business to a whole new heights. So it's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's really needed. Like I was telling you how when people come here and I, help consult them to come through and get their apartment. And one of the first things people do when they settle in is they want African clothing. So I take them downtown where you can get so many of the things in bulk. We got the Syndica Mall and everything is there. But because maybe because it's like more factory setting, things are not,
Mhm.
you can't just expect everybody in the, building to just be doing things precisely. So
Right.
sometimes you'll get like stitches that are off and things that are not
Mm-hmm.
there. So that's what I love about what you're doing, because first of all, the looks are totally different. It's completely different. It's not the fabric. You can say, okay, yeah, I seen the African fabric. There's some fabrics that people can say, oh yeah, I can go downtown and find that fabric. And then there's some that you can't, and the look is completely different. Like even from Ghana, when we see the clothing, that people are making with the ankara and the waxes and stuff, is completely different. And then your preciseness of like, it's because you're a true fashion designer. So even if you weren't doing, particularly this, when you said like you were creating your own stuff from the clothes that you had, you're really like, okay, this is not right. This has to have this. You turn this inside out. And I'm just watching her like, wow, this is a whole process. Like,
Right.
this is how something is of quality. So I
Mm-hmm.
love that.
And definitely, it's really hard to find like well tailored plus size clothes here, because
Mm.
when I started, like getting the plus size clothes made, like they were just never right because they just didn't. They just made big clothes, like it didn't have
Yeah.
any type of shape. It was nothing like the small version of the same thing, you know. So that's
That's
why it
the
was really,
style, yeah.
yeah. So that's why it was really important to me to be able to like really, you know, be totally hands on. And that's why I wanted to hire my own tailors where I can be like 100% quality control. Because even before, when I was like getting things done and taking them back to Boston and I was outsourcing it, you'll be like, once you get there, realizing like, oh, all the tags are not in these clothes, or the wrong size is in the wrong clothes, you know, or stitches are missing, buttons are missing. I had some long sleeve shirts, the whole cuffs were missing from the bottom of them. Like, the
And
things
that's
that
the
can go wrong
thing,
are
yeah.
crazy. So being
The
able to be my own
detail.
quality control now is just like priceless, literally.
It makes a big
That's
difference.
amazing. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
definitely have to be here. Like even getting clothes made, like from a tailor here, you kind of have to be over their shoulder to make
Yep.
sure they
Mm-hmm.
do everything. Because just in general, culturally, like in any business, people are always like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal." Like cutting corners is like a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
So, the things that we are particular about, they're not necessarily gonna be. And so it's like, oh, if I don't have to put a button, like why I gotta put
Yeah.
pockets? And it's like
Right.
pockets are essential. Like, come on, I got a cell phone. But they don't, if they just do what everybody else has done, and
Mm-hmm.
if you have a larger size outfit, they probably think that you're pregnant and you want to hide it, so you just make a big thing, or like the big boo boos and stuff. And yeah, getting stuff tailored. I've been getting stuff made here since '09, but I've never gotten exactly what I wanted. And so I just kind of accepted the fact that I wasn't going to get clothes made here
Mm-hmm.
and just buy them and bring them back. But now I have the answer.
Yes.
So, because I would show pictures of what I want. Like, I want this two-piece, like, pantsuit, or I want this.
And they,
And it's
the thing about Senegalese people, they're never gonna say like, "I don't know how to do that." They're all gonna be like, "Yes,
never.
I can do that. I do that. I made
I'm
that
a
one in the
problem.
picture."
I'm a
Like,
problem. Yes.
God, yeah.
Yes.
And it's like,
So is
what do I
okay,
have
wait,
to
but on
do?
that, is that an African I don't know if is that like a I wonder if that's a
Yes,
Senegalese thing or is
it's
that just like the
no.
whole continent?
mm,
They said it was in Kenya too. They was in everywhere. Like what's her name? Who's in Kenya? No, not in Kenya. Yeah, Kenya. They do that. That my homegirl was
Yes.
living in
Because they will even if it comes to hair, when it comes to
Tanzania.
nails, which Unique also
Cars.
does nails, but anything you say, anything you want, they're gonna say, oh, Beyonce, yeah, of course. Yes, no problem. And not have a clue what
Yeah. What's her name?
seriously.
The lady in Tanzania. What's her name? Travel something, diva or something. Anyway, but they did a video and it was like, yeah, nobody wants to disappoint you, so they always gonna say, yes, I can.
Yes.
So it's
Oh,
up to
that's what it
you to
is.
to do
Yep.
your due diligence. And I only go with people I've seen what they can do, because they're not gonna say they don't want to be negative and let you down like they can't do it. And it's
Yes.
not just because they want the job, like they really just gonna say that they can do it because they're trying to please you.
They're gonna try to
And
do it.
so
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yes.
gonna do their best. Oh, Nigeria, they do it too. Anaya says.
I
So
love it.
it's a
It's so
it's a
funny because
continental
it's just like,
thing.
yes, you do everything. Of course you can do it. Like
But let me say something. I really I don't know you that well. I mean, I've seen you 3 or 4 times, but just the fact that you are a female entrepreneur, a Black African American entrepreneur, international entrepreneur, like, can we give her a hand in the? I want to see some hands in the comment section. Like, this is a young woman, a wife, a mother, and she has a business in 2 countries, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Hmm.
Like, doing going back and forth, like that's the dream. Like, to be able to do your passion and to do it well, and to, like, who knows how many other countries you like gonna be ordering your, like, this is just amazing to me. And I love for people to see this and to be inspired for whatever their passion is, because it'll reward you in the end. You just got to keep going.
yes.
So I'm
Yes.
proud of you.
Thank you so much. I all I can say is that I am just grateful. I'm just following the path that God set for me. I'm just grateful that this is it. I didn't know this was gonna be it. You couldn't have told me this was gonna be it. Like if you had told me, I wouldn't have even believed that this was gonna be it. But this is it, and
Mm.
it's really crazy, you know. I did just open up a showroom here in Senegal. You guys came to yesterday. Um, so I wanted to open a storefront, but I had just so many different ideas. I just didn't feel like I wasn't sure how to do that because I do nails and I want to do the fashion and I wanted to have like a space for classes and stuff like that. So I ended up getting an apartment and turning that into a showroom. So I have two tailors that work for me full time, which is just like such a blessing. I don't even know. Like, it's amazing. I can't even believe that I don't
God
have
is
to do
good. God
this.
is good.
Yes.
So I have two tailors that work for me full time. Then we have the showroom, and then I have my office where I take like my nail clients or like, I also want to offer like small batch manufacturing for people who want to start a clothing line to not have to go through all the headache that I had to go through, because I'm a designer, so I can make sure that their clothing is done right.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have even thought of that? I wouldn't even think of that.
It is a
Wow, that's
genius move because
crazy.
people are, that's like the main thing. So many people that want to do that and they end up doing what you did in the beginning, trying to get
Mm-hmm.
it done from there, and it's just not going to work. So
Yeah,
that's
and
everything.
there's so many talented artists here. Like I just designed. I wish I had a bag with me. I just designed a line of mini Bogalon bucket bags. You guys got to see them yesterday, all rainbow colors. And like me and David went to the artist market, and we like were looking for someone that could make these bags for us. We found some. I actually took a video the other day when I went to go pick it up. Like they're in there, like on the floor, pounding the leather, and like they
And
literally are like artists that we're supporting. It's
yes,
Wow.
amazing.
yes,
Those
making it
bags
with their hands, authentic
with
materials,
I
like.
think Bogalon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the mud cloth.
Mhm.
It's did I cut out? I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But how do they make those? I was hearing you talk about it, but I missed some parts. You were saying that
So
you
the
get
Bogalon
leather.
fabric, the
Uh-huh.
Bogalon fabric is made in Mali. It's hand woven, and then they hand paint those designs on the fabric. Like we're just such talented people. It's amazing.
Yes.
And I want
And
to
this,
support that. And I want to make that like mainstream. That's why like, I just fell in love with African fabrics. Like I just exclusively basically use African fabrics at this point because I
yeah,
just love them. And I feel like you can have the same fabulous styles with African fabric. So that's what
yes.
I like really want to, and I like the handbags. Like I'm not gonna go buy Gucci or Louis Vuitton anymore. Like I'm gonna have my Bogalon genuine leather speedy bag, and that's it. And I'm happy. And
That's
I want
right.
everyone to be able to embrace that and feel that.
Hmm. It's so important. Like what we're
Mm-hmm.
doing now, when we want to start a clothing line or any product like that, we're going to China and
Mm-hmm.
places like that. We're going to like
Mm-hmm.
Alibaba and those kind of things. And just to be able to say, okay, yeah, I can get these same things made in Africa. I can go to this sister who is legit that I can pull up on, go to the place. That is everything. That's changing the game for us.
Yes, and that's just what I want to do. I want to be able to be that outlet for people. And they have good, like, things have developed so much here in Senegal. Like, DHL is so easy. Like, I ship things to my customers. If I ship it to them on Monday, they'll have it by the end of the week? Like, it's
Wow.
amazing. And it doesn't cost much more for me to ship it from here than it does to ship it from Boston to the New York? Like, that's the crazy part.
Oh, that's awesome. Because
Mhm.
I thought it would be a problem. I think does it matter with the country that it's in? Like, if it's other countries nearby here, we think it'd be the same, or it just has to do with Senegal?
So, Afrikorea, which is another platform where you can buy from like all different made in Africa brands. I opened a shop there. So they have the DHL Africa account and they get like a
Oh.
discounted rate. So it's much cheaper than like walking into DHL. Um, and from there, people from all different African countries can order and then I can ship it to them that way.
That's cool. That's good to know. Because I know people, people had been inquiring about shipping stuff here or shipping stuff to Gambia and stuff like that. So when we were moving, we were trying to look into like DHL and stuff like that. But I think getting stuff here is different than getting it out to the States, perhaps.
Well, I think that what one of our friends, she rents a post box here, and
Mm-hmm.
she can ship her things that way. Because I used to use USPS to ship up until the pandemic. I used to ship things from here to America, or from America to here, and it would take like 10 to 14 days tops. The boxes of
Mm.
stuff. But when the pandemic hit, it got really slow. So I
Uh,
haven't even tried it again. Dayla's back.
I'm back.
okay. Make sure you was
Kyoko
okay.
knocked the internet out. So you guys were still on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no problems.
That's weird, though. I'm
I know. I
like,
was
how did it just
surprised.
keep it going? That's crazy. It's the second time it went out, and I'm just kicked out.
Yeah,
Does that make
and
sense?
still going.
That's good, though.
Well,
I was like,
I ain't
oh
mad at
my
you.
God, I'm going to have to do
Right.
this all up. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Kyoko.
And
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So she was talking about shipping stuff. Oh, somebody asked a question. Mm-hmm.
oh, can you please put your shop
Oh, I
info in the
can't hear that good.
description? Yes.
Okay.
I don't know
Uh-oh,
how to
now
do
they
that,
can
but
hear us.
I would maybe Dayla can do it.
Yeah,
Wait,
Dayla can do it for
this is the
sure.
question that's highlighted, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I can hear you. And I'm like, why do y'all sound so
Okay.
low?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in the
You guys can hear me good?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the Instagram. The Instagram is I
Yes,
love
yes. We're going
FGC, right?
to.
Yep. I love FGC.
And
All
then
right,
your
I'm gonna
YouTube
put it
is
in.
I
Facebook
love.
and website.
Okay. I'm put it in the chat anyways.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad. I was like, why?
I was just
It's
like,
okay,
Dayla's
Kyoko. It
going.
didn't go out. I was like, why did you
We
walk
forgive
there?
you,
Why
Kyoko.
did you have to walk? I wanted to do one show with
Kyoko need
Habitat Now. This is
to
like
be
our third
asleep.
show. Huh?
She
What'd
needs
you
to be
say?
asleep. The
Exactly.
Kyoko needs to be in bed.
This means it's time to go to bed before the show start, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys heard Bahe yelling at some point, but I put him to bed an hour ago.
They
I
in here
did.
making fries and stuff. What?
Same thing happened. Same thing happened when we
Okay,
did our
so
show last week. I put my kid to bed and she was up like, "Mommy, come to bed with me," and all this
Yeah,
other
he was
stuff.
in the bed yelling, saying, "Mommy." It's like he knew I had something to do.
Always, they always know. Yeah. You good now?
I can't really hear y'all. I'm scared to do
Oh,
anything though. I'm scared to put it on Bluetooth right
don't touch
now.
it. Don't touch any buttons.
I know, right? Let me try to put it on Bluetooth because I
Mm-hmm.
cannot hear y'all.
And we can hear you really clear. That's the weird thing.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Kick me
But
out.
yeah,
Pause. Are you back?
you
You
guys
paused for a
definitely,
second.
before anybody gets kicked off or whatever, you guys definitely need to visit Miss Unique's shop. If you're here in Senegal,
Thank
please go
you.
to Dakar in Mamels, I believe, and
Yes.
close to
And I
the
have
monument area.
WhatsApp for business, so I'll give that to Dayla to put into the thing too, the chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll even, I mean, you guys have seen me. If you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, you guys have been seeing me post her stuff as well. Because this month is free shipping, which I'm excited about, even though I'm here.
This
But I'm just
weekend,
like,
not
wow,
month.
like free shipping. That's
Free
everything.
shipping.
Free shipping ends tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Let's get it.
Bledsoe asked, "What time is it here?" It's 10:19 p.m.
Yes.
Oh, it is 10:19. I said 10:12. Oops. Yeah.
It's late night.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry, because I'm sorry I can barely hear y'all, but I'm trying not to be like this, so y'all not in my ear while I'm but I did one thing I wanted to mention, going away from her clothing line and everything, you living here. I wanted to talk about the way that Unique is, the way she maneuvers around this New York City. It's amazing. Like, this girl be driving everywhere and she just knows all these places and it's just amazing. Like,
I want to say that social media is a wonderful tool. First of all, that's how I met you guys. And that's how I find out about all the places to go in Dakar or the things to do. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm from Boston, and driving here is like driving in Boston. And I used to drive like Lyft and like Amazon Flex delivery. So like I'm a driver, you know?
Right.
And when I first used to come visit Senegal, I always used to say, I will never drive here. Like, they drive so crazy. I will never. And my girlfriend, Adora, shout out to Adora, she was living here and she was like, you just have to do it. Like, once you do it, you're going to be comfortable. And now I'm just like, oh, Dayla, you want me to come get you, girl? I'll come over to y'all.
Yes, you need to be rolling. I'm like, oh my God. And everyone says that. When we first come, everyone says, we're not driving here. So just to see you doing it and still not speaking the language fluently. You guys remember, there's no speed limit. There's no traffic light. There's like 4 traffic lights in Dakar. Like, we're excited when we see a traffic light. Like, oh wow, let me take a picture. It's a traffic light. Like,
and no one even be paying attention to the traffic lights. That's because they're just so not.
Right. It's there for decorations. So she is here driving around, picking all of us up, and it's just amazing.
Getting pulled over by the police all the time to check to make sure I have my papers.
Get scared?
No, I'd be like, here you go. I'd be like, infraction, like asking them like, what's the problem? And they always like, oh, control. Like, they just want to make sure that you have your papers, you know?
Yeah. That's what they do.
I have all my papers, so I just be like, okay, have a great day.
Every time I pass a checkpoint, my heart be like, okay, I hope I don't get in trouble. And then the language I be scared they're gonna say a word I don't know, because they be thinking I'm from here, and I'm like, I don't know. Well, like,
I always be like, parlez-vous anglais? And they be like, English. They always be like, I met one officer the other day who spoke English, and we had a conversation.
Me too. Wow. I was the one I told you that I was crying because I was just so flustered. I got lost and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I was crying, and he felt sorry for me because I had the paper, but I couldn't find it because my husband put it in a different place. And I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to know what the words that you're saying, me and this and that, and I don't know, gray card or whatever. And so I'm like, I got it, dude. He's like, you gotta go to the police station. And I'm just feeling like I'm back in LA, like. The police station. Ain't no way I'm going in there by myself. But he spoke some English after, and I'm like, thank you. I couldn't do it. I'd be scared. I have PTSD, and I never been pulled over in the States, but I still got PTSD.
That's amazing.
It's true. It's definitely a different experience here. Like, I actually do not feel scared when I get pulled over here. I'm just like, hi. Hi, black man.
And that's how you're supposed to feel. It's just our past trauma because nothing's going to happen to you, literally.
They be cool.
And I have been pulled over a lot of times. I was fighting with one officer. He would not give my license back. And I was like, give me my license. I'm leaving today. I need my license. And he got because he told me he's going to go to the police station and bring it for me. So I went, and he never even left the post. So I came back like, just give me my license. Because he wanted me to give him money in exchange for my license, and I didn't want to. So he was like, well, then now you got to go to the police station. I was like, well, let's go. But he didn't go. So when I came back to argue him down, he hopped on the back of someone's scooter and just left me standing there yelling by myself. I was so mad.
Oh my gosh, I would be so scared.
We were in the middle of downtown. I'm like, give me my license. Like, please, I have to go. I'm going back to America lying because I wasn't going back to America. I'm going back to America. I need my license. And he just was like, ugh, and just got on the back of someone's scooter and left me sitting there. It was crazy. I was just like, oh my God. Like, what? Did he really just
wow.
Yeah, it's so different.
I don't even know where the police station is. That's why I'd be like, I don't know where it is.
Right. Because just the idea, like my PTSD comes from, I mean, anything. If I hear about them wanting to take my license and then I gotta go, I don't want to go near the police station. It sounds like I did some time, huh? But I'm just like, I don't want to go near the police station. I'm like, But I know that it's not the same thing. Like, I remember one day me and Rob was walking down the street, and Rob was telling me, he was like, they're down there doing, I guess kind of like checkpoints or whatever, where they stopping people and asking. And normally I don't think I've seen them do this of people driving, but I've seen them do it with people walking by and they're asking for their ID and stuff.
It's the opposite for me. I've only seen them doing that they do that with the scooters.
Uh-huh.
Like they'll take like
Really?
Oh yeah.
25 scooters. They'll be taking everybody's scooter if they don't have the papers. But I've
Yeah,
never
you're
seen
right.
them doing it to people walking.
Yes, they in Almaty especially, they'll do that in the near like all the little clubs, the club areas and stuff,
Oh,
and they do it
Almadine
in
they
Yelp
would.
too. Because I guess they just it's just like stop, just trying to find
Hmm.
whoever and I got so scared. Like I was like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen? Like what do we need to do? And he was like. First of all, you an American. Like, what are you tripping for? And I'm like, that's why.
Mhm.
I'm American. Like, what are they gonna like? He's like, no, like you're good. All you gotta do is say I'm American. Like, I'm like, what? Like, he's like, no, like just have your ID or your passport, and then you just get. I'm like, oh yeah, my bad. I forgot that nothing's gonna happen to me. So
Right,
Right.
because we're used to being pulled over. Like it means you're in trouble. Like you did something wrong, so you be
yes,
Hmm.
on the defense. But here they just stop people randomly, or if your car. One time they stopped me because my car was dusty because I live in the bush, and they was like, where you get all this red dust on your car from? And I'm like, from my house. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he tried to hit
yes.
on my cousin. Like she speak well, I'll tell her I want to talk to her.
And that time
But
that
so
we
like,
had went out there and we got pulled over when
mhm,
Amadou was driving.
yes, the curfew.
That was the first thing that let me know I am extremely still traumatized because Aisha's husband had me like, oh my, give me a bath. I'm about to, because he was like
He
upset with
got
the
out the
police.
car.
The police went to write the ticket. He walked behind him. I'm like, oh, he's about to get shot. It's over with.
Touched
Like I
touched him
totally just
from the
forgot
yes.
that it's not the same. I was like, Aisha, tell him no, tell him don't, like please don't let it happen in front of us right here. This is gonna be crazy. And then I was like, wait a minute, nothing's going. He can like out here. You can walk behind you can cuss the police out.
You can
not. I'm not
touch them.
encouraging it, but you can, and nothing's. It's like out there.
He
Wait,
put
do you
his
see the
hand on
comment
his
from
shoulder.
Syra? I hope I
Hmm.
pronounced that right. That's me. I'm like your husband. I don't want to give them my money, so I'm like, no, let's go to the police station then. Let's go. So I'm
Yeah.
Right.
totally with your husband because I don't want to give them my money. I'm like, no, you're not putting my little 7,000 in your pocket. I'll go to the
Right.
police station and get.
Seven.
Once you're American, whatever the cost is for Senegalese, it's double, triple.
Look at that comment. That's right. I said this Scorpio you got is about to give me a heart attack. Okay.
See, and my husband's a Scorpio too. He pick and choose when he want to be like, nah, let's go to the
Yeah,
police
she
station.
talking about
I got all my stuff.
Amadou when she say that Scorpio.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
yes. But there's sometimes where like if the person just asks for money, he'll give it to them. If they ask like, oh, I want some attire or something, he'll be like, yeah. But if they try to be like, oh, you're missing some paper, and they try to make up some crap or something, and you're like, oh, you
He'll
need
be
two
like,
fire extinguishers today. That's new, and he'll be like, nah, let's go to the police station. Like, cause
yes,
they just make up something and just ask if
right.
you need some money. Ask for it.
K Swift asked, "How
Uh-huh.
did I get my license back?" Well, all I had to do was go to the police station with the ticket that they wrote me and pay 7,000, and then they give it back to you. But I didn't have to pay because I went with a lawyer, and he went in for me. I didn't
7,000
even
is
want to go
great.
in, so the lawyer went in and got it back for me, and they said I didn't have to pay.
Wait, so you went with the lawyer? You said?
My
Oh,
husband's friend,
dope.
he's a lawyer here, so they went with me to the police station because I was like, "Can y'all help me go get my license back?"
He's
Because
like,
the
I'm
way
not
I
paying
was
the
out there
7,000.
arguing with the officer, I wasn't sure, if everything was gonna be okay. So I'm like, "Y'all come help me."
I can't believe you argue. I'll be so scared. They look so serious with their face, like
I
I
be
don't
sticking
know.
my
I
tongue
just
out
don't want
at
to
them
mess.
when I drive by, and they just like with the mean face. I'll just stick my tongue out at them. They be laughing because I'm like, "Why y'all trying
Somebody
to look
just
so
called me,
mean?"
y'all. I can't hear y'all.
Oh, the show's over now.
Poor Zayla. I put do not
What?
disturb on. Can you do that on your phone?
I can't hear nothing.
She said to put the no
Let me
disturb
try to go to
on
my
don't work.
YouTube. Dang it.
She's
Look, Zayla. See
she
this?
coming. She coming.
Look,
She
People
said
just be
she
calling me
said
everything.
Zayla.
she put it on. Let me see. Let me hit her in the private chat. She can
Look,
see.
do not disturb.
The time.
No, not the
No,
time.
not the time.
You can't hear us.
Hold on, let me message you.
Do not disturb. Look.
Oh my God.
Disturb.
Oh,
Hold
huh? You talking about do not disturb?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. My phone is literally on do not disturb, and the ringer won't come in, but the call still comes in. And then this time I went out. Actually, am I still on the same thing? Yeah, I tried to do. That's a WhatsApp call that just came in, and I did airplane mode with the Wi-Fi, and I cut my notifications off, and my phone is on do not disturb.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
like
the WhatsApp that I was telling her in the beginning. The WhatsApp part
what else can
gonna come through.
happen? Oh my God.
But we how much we did? Did we do
Okay,
a
y'all
whole
just
hour
give me,
anyway?
hopefully I can see y'all on here and then
Okay. And I tell y'all to sponsor Dayla and get her a new phone.
okay, I can hear
That's
y'all.
what
Say
happens with
something.
those iPhones.
And I tell y'all to sponsor Dayla and
it's
get
gonna
her a
be
new
delayed
phone.
though.
Yeah, you heard that?
Okay, I can hear y'all.
That's what happens
Say
with
something.
those iPhones.
And I tell y'all,
Because this phone is new. I just got this phone.
it's gonna be hella delayed.
It's gonna be delayed though.
It's
Okay, I
hella
can hear y'all.
delayed.
Because this phone is new. It's delayed as hell.
Yeah. So we just gonna say,
It's like
say
3 minutes
goodnight.
late. I don't even know what's going on.
Well, thanks so much for having me, guys, and giving me a chance to talk about my business. And thanks for coming out yesterday and supporting.
We're so happy to have you, and I'm so excited to see where your business goes. Like I'm having visions of, I don't know. I'm just gonna I just know that like in the future it's gonna keep growing and growing and growing, and I'm like, you're gonna
Say
be
that, sis. Say that.
Senegalese royalty. I'll be like, I know her. Yes, you're very talented.
Thank
And
you so much.
I'm so happy.
Saying.
All right, let's see. It's gonna take her a minute to catch up.
Thank you for coming on. Is this
stay
right?
tuned
Am I
for
saying
our
the right
new
thing at
show,
the right time?
The Real Black
Yes.
Chicks of Senegal.
Look, hold on. I used to I mean, unique is like that's gonna help me hear it better. Like, okay. Thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate you guys so much. Unique, thank you for coming on, for being our first guest. We are so this has been everything. You guys make sure you get her plug-ins. I'm gonna be posting it in my Instagram. You can do another thingy thing if you didn't already to let everybody know.
Yes.
And then we out.
I love FGC.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
it's been a great show.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all
all right, bye.
one.
We love you guys. Thank y'all for rolling with our sisters. Peace out.
Peace out, ladies.